It's no secret that the new data mine runes are insane, so in this video we're going to go over the top 5 runes coming in Phase 2. I made sure to only include belt and boot runes in this list because those are the only slots we're confirmed getting. And keep in mind most of these are unconfirmed, subject to change, and might not even show up when Phase 2 actually comes out. Subscribe to stay up to date, and let's get into the list. Starting off at number 1 is Frost Firebolt for Mage, with an honorable mention to Spell Firebolt. Spell Firebolt is pretty crazy because benefiting from Arcane and Frost talents means that you'll be able to get 13% hit just from talents. So even without any on your gear, you're pretty much already hit capped with this ability. And keep in mind, since this does arcane damage, you'll be able to use it with temporal beacons to heal people with. For Frost Firebolt, while this does seem like a pretty boring ability from Wrath of the Lich King, it will be the highest crit scaling ability in the game. Benefiting from both Frost and Fire talents means you'll be able to get Ignite and Ice Shards. And the scaling doesn't even stop there. That combined with the Spell Power rune on the boots means that you'll be able to hit for more than double damage and burn for 40% of that damage over 4 seconds. And at level 40, you'll have enough talent points to even go down Frost and get Shatter to crit more reliably in PvP. The only downside is it's a 3-second hard cast, and you can't reduce that at all with improved Fireball or Frostbolt, but that just means you can get impact instead and stun people with it. Mage was really missing some single target damage, and that's exactly what they're getting. With none of the new leaked runes being AoE related at all, and with their AoE already being the best in the game with Living Flame, mages are going to be extremely powerful and well-rounded for Phase 2. Moving on to number 2, we have the Melee Specialist rune for Hunters. To call this rune overloaded would be an understatement. It basically builds a whole new class just by itself. And combine that with the Dual Wield Specialization rune, it's going to increase your offhand damage to match rogues, and have your Raptor Strike hitting with both weapons as long as they're the same weapon type. Shouldn't be much of a problem because hunters can use almost every weapon but maces. They can also take advantage of all this crazy new mail gear that's coming up, like the Nomergon 3 set. Up next is number 3, we have Spirit of Redemption for Priest. While this one is obviously totally busted in PvP, it could also be a great addition to any healing priest in a raid since your spells won't cost any mana during its duration. If we have another fight like Twilight Lord Kelris that gets pretty hectic at the end, this is the golden ability to whip out since it will make you unable to be damaged, so no matter what's going on, you can keep pumping out heals. It will be not only the best defensive ability in the game, but with its 30-second cooldown that could easily last an entire boss fight at the higher end. And the 5-minute cooldown isn't really anything to worry about since you only want to use this at key moments and not really every time that it's up. Healing Priests were eating pretty well in Phase 1, and now they're eating even better in Phase 2. Coming in at number 4, we have another Priest rune with Mind Spike. Because this thing doesn't have any cooldown at all, you can just say goodbye to Mind Flay. This not only gives us a new ability, but a whole new rotation because of its Mind Blast synergy, giving it up to 90% crit. And with the crit that you already have, you can pretty much round that up to 100%. This is exactly what Priests were begging for all of Phase 1, and now they finally have it. Hopefully this brings the spec from non-existent to on the map. And last but not least is Infusion of Light for Paladins. This is another completely overloaded rune, birthing the long-awaited revival of the Shokkaden Paladin. It might not exactly dominate in Phase 2 alone, but when the new playstyle is done cooking, it'll be something the game has never seen before. And with Holy Paladins already having massive synergy with Spell Crit, it just fits perfectly into the rest of their kit. Not to mention Divine Favor being right there in the Holy Tree to ensure that you guaranteed get 2 shocks off in a row before having to actually wait out the cooldown. If Paladins really are getting the 18% Spell Crit Helm rune eventually, combine that with the 5% that they get free from talents, that's pretty much 25% already all the time. Also throwing in an honorable mention to Sacred Shield on your boots, which is somehow way better than the Wrath of the Lich King version. And we already have Beacon of Light to double all of this healing. Your only limit is going to be how much spell crit you can get, and it's looking like a lot. So even though they don't get any new healing rune spells, they're definitely something to watch out for as Season of Discovery keeps going on. But that about wraps it up, guys. Let me know what your top 5 Phase 2 runes are in the comments, and remember, this could all change at any moment. If this video got you hyped up to play another class that you don't have, you're going to want to check out my leveling guide for it. I have a video for every class and a big playlist right here.